Benjamin D'Souza here, and this is a video response to LARmovement on one of his most recent videos, Black Diaspora Thoughts. And during the end of the video, when he started talking about, black people, the majority of black Americans being indigenous to this hemisphere, I can't disagree with. Matter of fact, I emphatically say that we are the Aboriginal Americans. But early on in the video, he made some misinformed points, I should say. And he said something to the effect that I'm paraphrasing him. He said that he said that I can't deny that black people sold other black people into slavery. Now I'm assuming that he's talking about West Africans selling other West Africans to Europeans to be brought over here to the Western Hemisphere as slaves, and that I emphatically disagree with. And as long as if you've been subscribed to my channel for very long, you know that I harp on this. And it's, the math of the transatlantic slave trade. You're talking about 15 to 17 million Africans supposedly brought over here in a 200 to 250 year period, where the boat ride takes 4 to 6 months. That breaks down to probably 150, 170 a day. So you're bringing in roughly 300 Africans every other day. Okay. And he wants to talk about understanding the black diaspora at that time and putting things in its proper context. Well, let's put this whole transatlantic slave trade in its historical context. At the time that the New World was discovered, England had just got out of a war with the French, I think a war with Spain, a conflict with the Portuguese. They were stretched thin, and even before that, they had just got out of a civil war where they united the kingdoms, because you got to remember that the UK is not only British, it consists of the British, the Irish, and the Scottish, and the British subdued the whole Isles and brought it under British rule. So financially, the crown was stretched thin. So from a financial standpoint, would not be a good idea to marshal your resources to go into Africa and use your resources to either capture and or buy Africans to use as slave labor. Given the fact that your country has two problems at the same time. Your country's overpopulated, and you don't have any workers. You don't have enough workers to work the colonies. So how do you kill two birds with one stone? You take the lower rung of your society and you coerce them into indentured servitude. The overwhelming majority of the slaves in the Americas were white Europeans. Like I said before, the earliest remains found here in the Americas are of a Negroid phenotype. And since we can do math and see that it's impossible to forcibly transport 15 to 17 million Africans from one hemisphere to another in a 250-year span, given the conditions and the technology at the time, one would have to come to the conclusion that we were already here. Now, if we were already here, if you had some settlers that came here, then we would outnumber them 100 to 1. Given the technology of the time when you only had muskets and it took you several minutes to reload one shot, you ain't gonna force a population, an indigenous population of peoples, into forced slave labor. I mean, what are you gonna do? A couple dozen European settlers rolls up on a camp of Choctaws, and it's a couple band of them, a couple hundred of them, and it's only a few dozen white settlers, and and every one of them got a musket rifle. What are you gonna do? Yeah, you may kill maybe a dozen if everybody can shoot. But what are you gonna do after you lick off that shot? And you gotta sit there, pour the gunpowder back in there, put the bullet in there, pack it down again. Man, you're gonna get overran and you're gonna get scalped. The skin on your head with your hair attached to it will be hanging up on a clothesline and will be worn by the warrior in whom scalped you. And that's another thing, man. This a little sidebar. The reason why us as black people, the reason why we wear weaves and whatnot is because not only were we the first peoples in this hemisphere, but we also lived amongst the Mongoloids and other ethnic groups of peoples who came over here. The Mongoloids came over here on the Bering Straits 20,000 years ago or whatever. And what we did as a people, both men and women did this, we would scalp our enemies, meaning we would take a knife, cut their scalp off with their hair intact, wash it, dry it out, and wear it on our heads as a crown to show our valor and whatnot in battle. So, I could see what some people say that wearing weaves is a sign of self-hatred. I could see where you're coming from, but at the same time, that's something we've been doing for thousands of years. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. The denture and the denture to servitude and the slavery thing did not apply to us because we simply had too many numbers. Our numbers were too vast for them to even enact that sort of thing on us. That indentured servitude and that slavery thing, that was for the white Europeans, the lower rung of white Europeans who were brought over as indentured servants. I mean, you say when it comes to Africans selling other Africans into slavery, and you say that you can't disagree with it. I mean, how could you agree with it, given the context, as you put it, the context of the time? Let's put it in its proper context. Let's look at the financial situation of England, financial situation of Western Europe, really, and the political situation that was going on with them as well. How would they find the time and the resources while they're fighting amongst each other and racing over here to grab land? How would they find the time to man vessels and come down here and capture and or go down to Western Africa, capture and or purchase Africans? And really, when you're talking about Black Panther, they're really talking about black people in the Americas. It's the Black Jaguar. In one of the trailers, they were talking about El Dorado and how El Dorado was in South America. Yes, it was. El Dorado was in South America. The Black Panther The Black Jaguar Kingdom was in South America, and we were it. Those are our people.